Top of the day to you, and welcome to the very first episode of Change Makers, our podcast that explore power of justice, community action, and advocacy. And I am Adekola or Jenny. I will be your moderator. And for this episode, we were talking about a very critical topic that affects everyone in society. That is search by security agent. To discuss this topic with me today, I have in the studio a legal practitioner, Dolapo Olajuigbe. Good day and welcome to Change Makers.
Good day, Mr. Moderator, and all our listeners.
Okay, thank you so much, Dolapo. So today you're talking about the legal aspect of search, when is search legal and illegal, and what are the rights of citizens when search by security agent is being conducted. And Dolapo is here to give us expert insight. And so let us get the ball rolling. So, Dolapo, the first question, when we talk about search by security agent, can you tell us what the law say about searches by security agent, and can you explain the legal framework governing searches in Nigeria and when they are considered unlawful and lawful?
Thank you. The first thing to note is search or searches, as the case may be, is something that is legal. Depending on context we are looking at it, it's part of the functions and duties of our security agents in Nigeria, either the police, or the NDLEA, or even the EFCC. It's part of their functions, duties that create that or each of these agencies. So from the back of our mind, it should be noted that security agencies conducting search is part of their duties. Now, the law that creates these different agencies now specify what or how they should go about in conducting their search. For a search to be legal, it must be conducted or done within the ambit of the law or creating statutes of these security agencies. Where it is done outside the functions or the powers that create these agencies, we can term or simply say such a search is illegal. And for a search to be legal, the law is clear that such a search warrant that empowers any of these security agencies to conduct that search must be issued either by a magistrate or a judge in Nigeria. So where you have a security agency conducting searches and does not have search warrant to back it up, it calls to question that kind of search. However, there could be instances where a security agent, a police officer, or any of these agencies conduct search without having a search warrant.
Okay.
If in the course of their duties, they are trying to arrest a suspect who now runs into a building, or in the course of executing a arrest, in course of executing an arrest, and then there's reason now to conduct a search either on the person or the dwelling or premises where that suspect was found.
So you mean on that spot, you are trying to arrest a suspect?
Yeah.
So they can do on the spot search to search the building or the apartment or whatever it is.
The law gives them that kind of power to do that.
Okay, what rights do citizens have when it comes to search, and can someone lawfully resist search?
Okay. The laws or the rights citizens have in, should I say, challenging searches is, in quotes now, I would say comply, because the law has said that you cannot prevent security agencies from carrying out their duties. The question that now comes in is, what of where that duty is not lawful? You might not know at that point. But the first thing I always advise citizens to do is comply, obey, and respect our security agencies.
But we've seen cases of from videos to reports and all of security agents, storming a residential area in the middle of the night.
Okay. Now, when I was talking about search warrants, the power that creates or gives our security agencies the right to conduct search does not restrict the time where they can carry out these searches. We've seen instances where, in the course of gathering intelligence, some of these agencies now find out that the effects of conducting a search is best achieved at midnight or at so hours of the day. So you cannot dictate or prevent them from carrying out such duties. However, I always say where the law mandates that even before they enter into a dwelling, you announce,
Okay.
oh, we are so officers for so session. We are here to carry out that. Grant us access.
So according to the provision of the law,
They must announce.
they must announce.
Yes, and they should show. They should show if they have a search warrant. They should show. But the law also gives them that right that where they don't have that permission, let me put it in quotes, permission, the law says you break in. You break in and you also break out.
So even during the intelligence gathering of security agents and agencies,
Yes.
if they feel the best thing to do is to break into my home in the middle of the night without informing me, they can do so.
You see, unfortunately, the security agencies have not been up and doing. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Because breaking in to not be the first thing they should actually do.
Because we know the situation of security in this country.
Yeah.
If someone is trying to break into my home in the middle of the night,
And
the first thing I won't even think about, the security agent or agencies, probably kidnappers, armed robbers, or whatever it is.
Now, in fact, the law, I said earlier that the law requires that they should make an announcement. Recently, somewhere in the southeast, one of the
Anambra State.
yes, had issues with this aspect of search, and some were of the opinion, or some said that they actually made the announcement that we are from so place and we are here to carry out lawful search. Some said they did not do that, and then because the law that gives them that power to search also gives the citizen right to self-defense. Now, I don't want us to do much on that because it's a dicey debate.
Definitely. Okay, so is that announcement enough for me to know that, these people that are trying to break into my home are security agents? And, most times we've seen a video of these security agents going in mufti. And also, is it every crime that actually requires a search?
Okay, thank you. So to answer your first question, beyond announcement, the law requires that there should be a proper means of identification. You have your ID cards. In fact, for the law that gives the police this power, requires that they should be in their uniform while conducting search. In fact, it goes as far as before they conduct search, you that is to be searched, you should also search them.
So before a security agent search me, I have the right to actually search him or her first.
That's what the law says. If they will not comply, is another question or detabulated. But the law requires that, yes, before you are searched, you also have the right to search them. In fact, I've seen one or two people do it because of funny incidences that sometimes happen after such search.
Okay, moving on. Sometimes we've seen videos and reports of security agents stopping people on the road, searching their phone, their personal belongings. Is this actually lawful?
Thank you. See, my grounds against this issue will always be that provision of the law that says based on reasonable suspicion. As long as that provision is there, you will see that they hide under it to create and do and undo. The law is your phone is your personal property.
Yes, it is my personal belonging.
And
Even my laptop.
yes, on no account should they ask you bring your phone and enter your password. Let's see what is there. However, I said based on reasonable suspicion. So once there's a reason for them to say, oh, I have a suspicion that you must be involved in crime or assault or law, then submit yourself for search. We'll also cover them bringing out your phone. But in fact, each succeeding IG will always come out with a release and order that on no account should police officer search your phone, or no account should be bought.
I was even going there because it didn't start with the current IGP. Even previous Inspector General of Police,
Yes.
we've seen the first PRO coming out to give press releases that police don't actually have the right to search phones and personal belongings. Okay, another one is, can police stop and search me because of my physical appearance? Probably I have dreads, I have tattoo, I pierce my hair as a guy.
Thank you. See, I mentioned that aspect of reasonable suspicion. The law is there, is in their law that creates them, that gives them this power, that based on the fact that you are dressed somehow, or you have piercings or tattoos or one particular way, hairstyle.
But is that not profiling?
In fact, the law prohibits that. But you also agree with me that Nigeria of today is also enough reason why these our security agents will say they are going to do that, and it's what we have in society today. It's forbidden. Let me put it that way. But the main whether it will comply with it or not, therefore, if you agree with them or not.
Thank you. So, what are the most common violations of security agents during a search, and what legal step can victims actually take?
Some of the violations I've seen come across is assault, that aspect of because the citizen is not aware or maybe to prevent the police from carrying out their duties, assault the police, and in turn the police will also assault them back. And sometimes we've seen situations where the police have had to shoot.
Yes,
And of course,
sometimes physical assault.
yes, and the common ground they will rely upon is the social person was trying to obstruct them from carrying out their lawful duty. So I always encourage citizens that whenever the security agencies come around and say, oh, we are here to do this, we are here to do that, number one thing you must always do is comply. There will always be room to challenge them. Thank God for social media today. Even those who are thought who have gotten away with some of these their illegal actions.
Because a lot of these reports, we see it on social media almost every day.
Then these officers are made to face the law.
So if someone is wrongfully arrested after a search, what advice will you give to that kind of person?
The law is there to protect both sides. Where there's a case of wrongful arrest, the first thing I would advise is consult a lawyer, and he will tell you guide on the appropriate steps. The easiest that comes to mind now is challenging such arrest through the filing of the fundamental human rights that case in court. So where there's a case of wrongful arrest, there's a remedy to address such issue.
Okay, on this topic of search, we've seen several videos of police trying to stop people and search probably their cars or something, and in the case they try to run away, sometimes they injure security agent and all. Like, what legal advice do you have for people listening to us at this moment on obeying the security agent and submitting themselves for search when there is call for it?
The first thing I will always say, I will advise is comply and allow them do that their lawful duty in court. If there's no reason for you to challenge, if there's no reason for you to call them out, yes, there are mediums and there are ways you go about it. In fact, thankfully, social media is one of the best places now where you call out illegal activities of our officers. And in fact, I think it's achieving faster results than even going through the court. Because we've seen instances of citizens that were extorted in the course of search and arrest.
To get their money
And
back.
but some have maybe taken their time to consider whether they should come online. And the very moment they come online, within 2, 3, 1 week, the issue is addressed. So always advise comply and allow them do their duty. If there's no reason for you to challenge it, please go through the right channel to do that.
So as citizens, we must comply with security agents when they demand to search us. And if there is probably we feel there is a need for redress, then we can seek the legal way.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this insightful discussion on search by security agent. Once again, I would like to thank our guest for today, Dolapo Olajuigbe, a
Thank
legal
you.
practitioner. Thank you for actually giving your expert insight into this critical topic. We really appreciate you for your time and for being here on Changemakers.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Dear listeners, the first step towards protecting your rights is to know them, and ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Thank you for tuning in to Changemakers today. Don't forget to like, follow, and comment on our social media pages for more impactful discussions at JDPC Ibadan on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Ibadan JDPC on X.